Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is Ginkgo Bioworks Holdings, ticker symbol DNA. And so I wanted to go over the chart here because it was requested. And so, yeah, I don't have anything drawn up here because there was a reverse split, a 1-for-40 reverse split on the 20th, so just about 4 days ago, as I am recording this on Saturday, August 24th. So I wanted to add some new levels up here. But I should note that DNA closed the week at a price of $8.15, being down almost 2% on the day, but coming up about 2 cents in the after hours. Maybe that means something. But yeah, I just wanted to go over the chart here. It is pretty tough to think about levels that this might be going to, as it has just been coming down a lot. And with that being said, with there having just been a reverse split, this is something that a subscriber of the channel had mentioned to me that's a good rule of thumb for stocks. If there are reverse splits and you go back 2 years in time and prices over $100, that could suggest that they've just been diluting too much and that it may just be fading into nothing. And so if we do go back 2 years, so we're in September of 2024, so let's go back to, let's see, September of 2022, we can see price was above $100. So with that being said, I think this one is pretty risky to be adding into. I do think that it will continue to go down more, especially if we look at the market cap. It's not, a multi-billion-dollar company. It's less than $500 million. It's still not super tiny, but, I just think that there's a lot of risk. So do brace for further downside and manage risk. But, this was requested, so I want to deliver. I do think that there are some potentially interesting things that we could be going over, but that's just really zooming in on this more recent time frame that I had started this video on. And so there are a couple things we can do: 2 Fibonacci retracements that I see as being useful, and 1 trend line, which might actually be a discouraging trend line, but I do think it's important to highlight. But first, I am going to do the Fibonacci retracements. And so the first one that I'm going to draw is going to be based on this low that was hit on June 27th. So, adjusted for the reverse split, that low was at a price of 10.57, and then drawing that retracement up to the high that was hit on August 1st at a price of 16.39. So I've got that retracement there. These are the levels that were left up from my last drawing. But really, just 2 of them I had wanted to highlight. One of them being that low of 10.57. If we do see a bounce up to there, I do think that we might be bumping into that as resistance. And then the 1618 coming down lower in case maybe there's a level of support down below. That is at a price of $6.97, or right around $7. We did get a wick low on reverse split day on the 20th of 7.29, and so that did get pretty close to piercing that level at 6.97, but did not get there. And so maybe we still are to test to the downside. But I should note though that one thing that does look pretty good, although it may not end up looking that good, is that on this reverse day on the 20th, when price came down almost 18%, we did get a bullish reversal the following day, going up almost 21%, reclaiming all of that which was lost. However, as you can see, the days following that, we have bled more. We haven't retraced fully back down to this level, which would be right around, let's see, 770. That was the close here was 771 on the 20th. The open, though, on the 21st was 770. So right around there. Hopefully we don't start closing below that level. Hopefully we don't get any closes below 729. But, I suspect that we will, whether that's this week or weeks to come. I do expect this to be going down lower. And then one thing that is a potential bullish pattern that we could see is, it has not been formed yet. And I think one thing that is really good to exercise is don't assume something's going to happen, wait for it to happen. And so right now this has not happened, but it may happen. And what I could see is another red candle here coming down to, right around 770. But then on Tuesday, if we get another green candle, that reverses to the upside, that would then be a rising 3 method. So that's when you get a big green candle, 3 red candles that pull back, and then a green candle again going to the upside. That suggests that there would be a continuation to the upside. But, of course, that has not happened yet, so don't expect it to. But, it might be something to look forward to if we do see another green candle like this going up 20%. That could be suggesting that the bottom is in. But if it's not, I do think that right around $7 is a level that maybe support will be found at, but it might be temporary. It might bleed lower, so do be careful about that. And so to not clutter this, before I draw up another retracement, I am just going to omit the 65% and 786 levels from that retracement. So we just have the ones that, stand out to me as being, really important. And I am going to adjust that to be red. I have recently been going, like a rainbow from red to purple and retracements, finding the levels that stand out. So I'm going to leave that as red, and I'm just going to do the next Fibonacci retracement, then going from the top here at 1639, coming down to the low of 729, which was hit on the 20th. And so from that, no levels up there because I deleted all of them. So I'm just going to add them back in here. And so I'm going to, you don't need to have the 100% on there. So I'm just going to, or the 0. So I'm just going to add these other ones. Or actually, I will put 0% on there. So we do see where that bottom is very clearly. And I'm going to make this color orange. It might be a little bit harder to read, but at least we can kind of differentiate between the two ones. And so levels to the upside that we should be reclaiming, it actually is disappointing that this bullish reversal candle did not get above the 236, which is at a price of 944, closed and hit a high on the 21st of, let's see, actually hit a high of 933, but closed at 931. So just 2 pennies below that high. But yeah, it did look really bullish, but we need to start seeing reclaims of 944. Since we weren't able to get up to that level and it does look like it's pulling back, I suspect that this retracement will need to be adjusted because I suspect that we will be going lower than 729. And so this, is really based on the assumption that the bottom is in here. And so it would be like, drawing it to here and then saying, oh, that's the bottom. I want to look for a close above the 236 here. Oh, it broke lower. I'm just going to do that. And then, you just keep adjusting it. And so right now we did bounce, but we might very well be retesting that. So that is what I would be looking for, a retest of 729, but bullish levels to the upside, reclaiming, getting closes above 944. And then beyond that, getting above the low here of 1057 or the 382 here would really be ideal. That is at 1077. But I think once we get to that level, there will be a good amount of resistance there. Because if I throw up the volume profile, well, it doesn't really stand out with the 382 here at 1077, but definitely at the 50% retracement at 1184. Big volume shelf here. There's actually like a volume gap up here once above the 236. So if price does get above 944, maybe it would rush up to 1077, but then start to get into some resistance, getting up to around $12 or, here this level at 1184. And, the volume point of control, I believe, is what this midline is. That is at 1201. So, right around $12. Corresponding with, all of this price action here. So I definitely think that would be resistance. If I'm wrong, if it doesn't break lower, if it does go up, I think it will be bumping into resistance between 11 and $12. So I would look for that. But then the other thing that I wanted to draw on the chart to add to this, a trend line, which I'm sure will not make people happy. I'm sure it's not valid though, so do take it with a grain of salt. Just struggling with, what to put up on the chart. I could draw a trend line, and one that stands out to me is if I connect it from here and then let's say over to this low, and maybe this will stand out to you if I adjust the size and the color of it, as I do tend to make these purple, but I'm wondering if that is a neckline. I'm actually going to make that a little bit thicker just so it really stands out. I'm wondering if that's a neckline for a head and shoulders pattern. So that would be like, we have this left shoulder here, head here, and then kind of an ugly right shoulder here. and we have broken below that downtrend. So even if this is not a head and shoulders pattern, it does look like price is consolidating below that level. So we really need to see a break above that, a close above 944 to confirm kind of, getting above that level. We haven't seen it yet, so it does look pretty discouraging. But, if this is actually a head and shoulders pattern, if it is legit, we can take a measurement from the top of that head straight down to that neckline to get an idea where price could be going down to. And so if I take that to, basically right around here where, we did get that clean break below that neckline, we can adjust the axis here to see where price could be going to if that measured move were to play out. And so that could be suggesting that price could be coming down to around 363, maybe 350 even, or maybe 369. Have fun with the number. So I would express a lot of caution with this one because maybe it finds support at $7 and maybe from there it bounces up to 12. I think because there has been so much dilution and because, it's really tough to find levels to draw as support because it's just been, trading downwards, going back to, about a year ago, over a year ago. And so with that being said, it just seems very, very risky to me, but I would like to see close above 944, maybe a move up to 12. At that point, I think it will get rejected before pulling back to breaking below 7 and maybe coming down as far as 369 because I like to have fun here. Even when numbers go down, they go to fun numbers. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about the chart. Hopefully these levels were helpful for you. But those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for the request. Take care, you guys.